Hello, Gravy Timothy's, and welcome back to more Survival. Now, this is kind of an episode of focused as a kind of not, maybe a bit of a side one, really, because technically we've already looked at Germany. But more so, I want to play Germany in the worst way you can possibly do today. You see, Germany's got this brand new spanking focus tree, and there's a lot of overpowered stuff in there. But you can also mess it up pretty badly if you want to. But before we get into that one, quick word from today's sponsor. Big shout out to today's sponsor, MWT Tank Battles. MWT Tank Battles is a brand new multiplayer military action game for your mobile device. On this channel, we love our military history, and military history means we love tanks. But there's not just tanks. There's a wide variety of modern military hardware, including planes, rare prototypes, and helicopters. MWT Tank Battles delivers adrenaline-pumping gameplay reminiscent of Call of Duty and Battlefield, which means it's packed with non-stop action and spectacular special effects. And with the vast variety of different advanced tanks, aircraft, drones, and devastating artillery combined with the stunning graphics, the game immerses your atmosphere of fast and tense battles. You can also enhance and customize your vehicles to match your playstyle and dominate the battlefield. MWT Tank Battles delivers a phenomenal visual and audio experience, offering blockbuster quality production on your smartphone screen. So go ahead, get started today and enjoy the vast variety of modern military vehicles in fast-paced, tense, action-packed battles and combat, and join players from all over the world and play MWT Tank Battles for free right now on iOS, Android, or using the link in the description down below or pinned comment. So let's go ahead and start by overthrowing the government. You know, just for the extra little ticking time bomb that we're attaching ourselves with today, we must secure their loyalty at any cost. Which essentially means to get the loyalty of the Kriegsmarine, we're willing to literally strap ourselves to said ticking time bomb, and if we don't do these focuses in time, okay, now that we're in a civil kerfuffle, as some might say, I'm gonna go ahead and shift straight to the economy side over here, and we're gonna go 4-year plan, which already, you know, it don't sound great. We've got one ticking time bomb, and I've decided to go ahead and start kicking the unactivated nuclear bomb that is the 4-year plan. Why is it starting to tick? Okay, good news is we've won the Civil War. Not much of an issue there so far. So, you know, we have MIFO bills, which means our economy is now on a time limit before it completely implodes. We have the Kriegsmarine Revolt, also another implosion coming. How could we realistically make this any worse? Or how about instead of getting the Kaiser back, we do military dictatorship? Yeah, objectively, the much worse path for you to go. Not only do you lose all this political power and stability, you don't really get any bonuses for doing that. On top of that, you also don't get to unlock the Imperial Science Initiative or the glorious mechanical machinations, which are both very nice. So not only have I gone ahead, shot myself in the foot, it's also gone ahead, got infected, and then to fix a problem, I'm going to chop off the wrong foot. The one plus side, though, is we do get this cool flag, one of my favorite German flags. And we are the German Kaiser Reich. Where is the Kaiser? He's right there. Not here. I mean, I guess the army experience gain is good, but it's not like you really struggle getting any army experience gain. The max planning factor is probably the best thing here. Everything else could definitely go, and the stability and the political power gain here absolutely hurts. Okay, now we've put ourselves in the worst position we realistically could. How do we go about salvaging this Germany? Well, first off, we should probably deal with the Kriegsmarines and its little revolt going on. The easiest way of doing this is just getting the rebuild the high seas fleet focus done, as it's only right there. Next up is the economy situation. We're already up to 48% on the MIFO bills, and I'm definitely feeling it. So I reckon a good thing we could do is completely ignore the Allies. The British are actually going decolonization because I've done an alt history path. That means they're also going to do one, so should France. And instead, we get Poland as quickly as we can and go straight into the Soviets. Now, this does mean we're not going to be able to loot all these allied countries to get those MIFO bills down, but it's just something we're going to have to risk. So obviously, if we're going for an early fight with the Soviets, I I am going to get as much collab on them as I physically can. I've spammed out a whole bunch of units. It's just our starting template. I haven't changed it at all. And then we have gone Brest-Litovsk, and we're going to assume that the Polish will give up all their land. If they don't, I'm going to have to invade them. I have also done all of the decisions we can do, except these two right here, to get the MIFO bills down as physically little as we can. They were down a lot more, but they're back up to 39% right now, which, you know, yeah, that hurts. As such, I'm just going to completely ignore building any more CIS for now and just spam out as many mills as we can, because the equipment situation will be looking a little bit bleak. And it's looking a little bit bleak. Okay, we've also done the Austrian question, and then I will go ahead, release them as our puppet, and then also carve up Czechoslovakia. Oh, the Austrians actually want me to re-annex them. Would you look at that? That's crazy. I guess I'll just re-annex them. I can't actually do the Czech folks anyway, because Hungary joined my faction. I need to kick them out, and I can't do that for another couple months. So we're just going to go straight in on Poland, and we'll get the Czechs eventually. Okay, Poland has accepted our first lot of demands. Very good for us. Now let's try and get the rest, and then rush on down to fighting the Soviets. And it doesn't matter too much, because they have given up the east of their country now to the Soviets, so we do have a border ready to go. But if they do give up a bit more land, that's good for us, I guess. Well, yeah, it's going to be a very interesting border to fight the Soviets here. Okay, Poland said no, they are guaranteed by the Allies, so there's nothing we can do about that. We are going to fight the Soviets on this very small border. Okay, I've hit them with the last focus we need to do right here to get our war goal on the Soviets. Before I do that, I'm going to carve up the Czechs, and then we're going in. And there we go. Nice. Okay, let's see how this goes. Okay, as we have done that, we can now go ahead and move to our economy of conquest, aka we need to do things very quickly or things are about to get even worse. Okay, we made a push. We can actually beat the Soviets pretty easily with our CAS, which is doing wonders over there. The Hungarians have joined our faction and immediately been encircled, but my gambit here is that we can get Lithuania to accept subjugation and then push for a much larger front, which I'm hoping they say yes to. Perfect. Okay, with that, the breakthrough is underway. We've even encircled the little Hungarian invasion that was going on down here, which is pretty good. We've got no fuel though, and I'd love to be able to trade for some. But somebody's stolen all my factories. Oh, there's the little criminal right there. Oh, he's done it. Okay, if I didn't have that full collab, though, we would not have got the capitulation. I didn't even have to go all the way to Stalingrad there. I got up to Moscow, Leningrad, and a few of the other VPs, especially down here in Ukraine, with Sebastopol being the last one, and that was enough. Now, it did come at the cost of, like, 3 million German casualties, but it had to be done. Okay, we look a little bit weird on the map. Okay, now all we need for our autarky being achieved is the rubber and tungsten. Annoyingly, I never had the political power to go up to war economy or even get to Totalkrieg because first off, I didn't have the war support to get war economy as I was constantly down from all my combat casualties. So that ruled out Totalkrieg, and then I couldn't even go up to war economy because I never even had the political power anyway from all the draft reforms I had to do as I kept getting that event, which was pretty fun. Okay, so we've reached the tungsten one pretty easy. I just built up everything that I could, and now we're over 125. So now we just need to get the rubber up, which I should have no problem, at least before these MIFO bills come back around. Oh yeah, I also can't remember if I said this, but we also went left side over here, the Prussian legacy, which means we did not get any of the really nice bonuses that you get for going on right side with tanks. So that's just another fun thing that has hindered our ability, but it obviously was pretty good with the Soviets because it is a whole bunch of infantry attack and other buffs for our artillery, which did help a whole bunch. Yeah, but now if we do want to do tanks, we are lacking quite a bit. Now, the last thing we need for our autarky achieve is to actually have all of our core states, and because I did that stupid focus, we do need these ones off the Poles, which means going to war with the Allies. So whilst we still have some form of a economy, we are going to get to work now on accomplishing that. Thankfully, all we need to do is obviously take these core states, and then we can hit the focus on not have to worry about it ever again. I do now have a much larger land mass that I do need to protect. Oh yeah, and the Allies also took out Italy, which is a bit of a pain. Okay, before I declared war, I was just waiting to get the political power so we can up our conscription as soon as we can, as we only have 94 willing Germans right now to join the army. What happened to the rest of the Germans willing to join the army? I think a lot of them are buried around here. Oh, never mind. We may have just been saved going to war with the Allies there if they formed the Romanian-Polish alliance officially, so that has gotten rid of their guarantees. I mean, I am going to still go fight the Allies, but now I get a little bit more time to actually prepare. Okay, nice. That is making things a lot easier, as now we'll actually be able to unlock our full industrial capabilities here and get ready to go fight the Allies, which is going to be a bit of a pain. Yeah, they've also capitulated Japan, so, you know, maybe this isn't a good idea. Is it too late to back out? Okay, we've got some good news. We've got the Ottomans on our side. The little reorganized government thing, what's it called? Supervised government that they put down in Italy has broken free now, because they do after an amount of time. Then I did my focus to invite them to the Allies, so somehow we've got Italy on our side. And the UK has finished their decolonization, so a whole bunch of their colonies are now ex-colonies and no longer in the Allies. The only thing I'm kind of worried about is this whole American-Japan thing. They're also a supervised state, which means eventually they will break free. But do I wait for them to break free so I don't have to deal with this front and hope they leave the Allies? Or do we just ignore it and just hope we don't get naval invaded over here? Okay, the German focus tree, the focus tree that keeps on giving. I realize we have African allies down here, and because there's actually a lot of African nations now, because Britain has decolonized, I've actually made myself a few new friends. Not a lot, but enough that maybe it might break up the UK's army, because I'm looking at the front line over here. There's quite a bit here. Oh, we got a few more in. A lot of people rejecting here. We got the Kingdom of Libya, Kenya, Liberia. We got Sierra Leone, Burundi. You know, okay, that's a good amount of new friends. Oh yeah, and if you haven't guessed already, we are taking our sweet time. It's 1945 now, and obviously, you know, there's a lot of allied troops all over the world, so I'm gonna make sure I do this right. So I reckon 1946 is when we're going to go in. I'm just waiting for a couple more things. Specifically, I am gonna try and get some SPGs out and going just to really break through the Allied lines here and make sure I got a whole bunch of planes in the backlog. Okay, well, I was aiming to go in at 1946, but Italy and all their wisdom has decided to solo France themselves and called all my alliance in anyway, so we're going in now. Okay, let's hope we can do this, I guess. Okay, first things first, we're going straight up to service by requirement because, yep, we need to. Okay, now I do believe this is what the philosophers of all time might call a cluster truck. Yeah, we got like 10 billion boats over here, which I do have a ton of naval bombers currently taking care of. The ones that make it through. Now, I didn't build a navy, but we do have our starting navy and the Russian navy, which actually did just take down a whole bunch of those fleets over there, mostly from the naval bombers, but I did build loads of submarines. So I'm going to get better submarines as we go here, just to start raiding everywhere. Again, would have had much better submarines from the get-go, but unfortunately, you know, somebody busted their load pretty early. I can tell you this much, though, they are not Dunkirking their way out of this one. And that is a ton of American divisions gone right there, so I think we're going to be fine getting France. I do have a collab government on them, and I'm also working on getting one on the US, because of course we're going to have to go take them down. I do have a few questions about the Allied Air Force. Is it made out of paper? Okay, we've got France capitulated, got ourselves some nice encirclement troops, but I guarantee the Allies probably still got yeah, they still got quite a lot, but the UK actually, oh, they don't have a lot of troops at all. We might be able to get a quick capitulation going here. I say quick, we still need to get naval supremacy, which is going to be our issue here. Oh, no way. Okay, so I also did the Asian allies focus over here, and because India's independent, we just made ourselves a brand new friend. Okay, that's pretty damn good. So they just keep naval invading me, and I just keep letting them naval invade me, because every time they do, I just destroy even more divisions. And I'm assuming at some point they're going to run out, right? right? Our fleet is long gone. It doesn't exist. We've still got all these submarines, and they are slowly chipping away at the American-British fleet, but there is still a lot of boats left around, which we don't have naval supremacy with, which means I ain't too sure how we'll get to the UK. I will figure this out, though. Oh, you know, I just noticed the French get naval invasion off there, and I've noticed I'm at the 49%, so I reckon if we just get the UK, I'm assuming their fleet is repairing in port. If we just bomb a couple of these ports, we might be able to get enough supremacy to get the invasions off. Oh, okay, yep, that worked. Now let's just hope we actually win, but it doesn't look like the UK has anything really to defend this. Okay, yep, there's nothing they can do. We're still going to have to figure out the problem of getting to America, though. Thankfully, though, all those invasions that they've landed on me, they're not building any more troops, I've noticed. I'm not too sure if they're just permalocked and they can't get their conscription up. They're only on service by requirement, so we'll... No, they have loads of manpower. I don't know why they're not building more. The only other thing I can assume is just they don't have equipment. And if they don't have equipment, if we see any of their units anywhere and they aren't resupplying, that should explain it. Yeah, I mean, that US division there is looking pretty battered. So I imagine they don't have a lot of equipment, or at least not enough to start spamming out units. You know, actually, they got so many damn factories. There's no way they don't have equipment. So I don't know. It might just be one of those late game Hoi 4 things where the AI just explodes in on itself. Okay, now thankfully we only have to capitulate the US here to get a peace deal going, and Canada has just rejoined the Allies, so we can try and land up there, but currently we're only sitting on like 24% naval supremacy up there, so I'm gonna have to build a damn fleet. And good news is we've taken down pretty much all the British fleet at this point. It's just the US fleet that's giving us a bit of trouble up there, so I shouldn't have to build too many boats to really get ourselves going. Okay, we are so lucky there's only one Canadian unit on that tile. I couldn't get enough supremacy in Newfoundland over there, which means I can't even reach it actually with the navy that I built. So if we failed this, oh no, that's such a waste of time. Thankfully, we did not fail. Okay, fellas, the end is in sight. It has definitely been a long and, in all fairness, self-inflicted painful game. Okay, but as long as nobody else has become a GP, a great power, a major power in this war, we are fine, which they haven't. Also didn't realize that Communist China had also become a thing, but sure. Thankfully, every ally I have, which, you know, there's a lot of them, have kind of dealt with that. Okay, now we got a 90% collab on the US, which means we practically don't have to do anything at this point. I mean, you know, we didn't have to do anything anyway. We could have just beat them normally at this point, especially I've got my actual, like, tanks out and stuff now, my SPG, so I could just leave if I really wanted to. But I'm not going to. But I will release the provisional government of the Mongolian People's Republic. Sure. You know what? I'll tell you something about Sangoktu Kangan. You know that build a supply hub? Oh my god, there we go. Well, there is definitely not going to be any arguing from me on that one. That is most certainly the worst way you could play Germany. Oh yeah, it is painful. Absolutely painful. Oh, shout out to the new Hungarian Empire, by the way. They've helped themselves to quite a bit of land, I've noticed, all over the place. Honestly, nonetheless, even though it was a bit of a challenge, and obviously we had a lot of stuff to do, it was very fun, and I'd recommend it. I mean, it's not the path you should really do if you want actual fun as Germany, but as a self-inflicted challenge, it was okay. Plus, again, being the German Kaiserreich and having this cool flag, you know, that's a Kaiserreich reference. But that's about the only upside of being the German Kaiserreich. But hey, I hope you enjoyed the video, and leave a like, subscribe down below if you did, and if you didn't, it's not very nice of you.